Hello everyone and welcome back to Football Manager 2020 and another episode of this series where we're currently with Ajax as we try to win as many trophies as we possibly can and get to the top of those managerial rankings. Now, when we left off last time, we just finished our fifth straight victory, coming in the Champions League, a nice 4-0 victory over Galatasaray away from home. It's a heck of a performance to get a result like that. And then since the last time we have played one league match, it was against PSC as well, and as you can see it went pretty well. We actually got a penalty inside the first minute. Dusan Tadic just sent it home. He won the penalty, he took it, he scored it, and then 25 minutes Blint put the ball in, Tadic with it, goes out to David Neres, and Edouard with the easiest finish you'll ever get. Then from a corner, Neres in, and Alvarez against the woodwork, Lamb slamming it into his own net. And then again, still in the first half here, Blint to Neres, ball across, and Ziyech with a comfortable header into the near post for 4-0. Now they did pull a goal back, played in, Alvarez with a poor clearance, Reza with a nice finish, and then 15 minutes from time, Ruben Dias, his fourth goal of the season, all of them from corners, all of them headers, and we won the game 5-0, or 5-1, sorry. So we set ourselves up pretty nicely. If we look at the table, you'll see we're currently in third place, just 1 point off Feyenoord. 3 teams on 18 points, so it's a little bit tight at the moment, but we're 6 points ahead of PSV, so not too worried about that. Man City currently on the schedule as well, because today we've got AZ Alkmaar, big game in the league. We need to get a bit of space ahead of them. We are at home. And then we have Man City at home as well, the Johan Cruyff Arena. We are going to be looking for a victory against Man City, because if we can get a win there, we know we're in with a chance of a good run to the last stages of the Champions League. So I'm not resting any players for this league game against AZ Alkmaar. This is the first match we've got to play. We need to get the win. We're going full strength, and then we'll see what we can do against Man City. But it means Edouard and Tadic leading the line up front, Neres and Ziyech on the wings, with Van der Beek and Barrow in central midfield, and then Blint, Dias, Alvarez and Mazraoui in defence, with Onana in goal. We're starting to settle on our favoured starting 11. A little bit of interchangeability, but one of the great things about the Dutch league is the substitute allowance. 12 substitutes on the bench, which means that it's really easy to blood in your young players, because there's no risk of putting them on the bench at all. And it does make me wonder if that's why teams like Ajax are able to produce so many young players, because they could just give game time whenever they're in a comfortable position to young players and let them learn, let them develop. And that's much harder to do in the leagues like the Premier League. But here's Blint. Ball back to Van der Beek. He switches it, and Ziyech with the header. We have the lead very early on here. 1-0 over AZ Alkmaar will take us, I think, at least temporarily to the top of the table. But it was Blint here, edge of the area, pulled it back to Van der Beek. Right-footed cross, in-swinger, and Ziyech beating the defender to the header. Keeper left rooted to the stop, to where he was, and now we do have first place in the league table. A very nice start, but Edouard getting a little injury to his knee isn't ideal, as Tadic tucks it home, and that just allows me to comfortably take Edouard off the pitch, bring Penaranda on with very little to lose. 2-0 now. Blint with these throw-ins, which always work so well. Neres nodded it on, and Tadic just slotting it into that bottom corner. 6 now for him this season. And we're only 15 minutes into the game, but we are absolutely flying. Now Mazraoui, again, another one of those headers, but Neres just absolutely blasted that one high over the bar. We are in a very comfortable position right now. Ziyech and Tadic performing very well. Tadic just getting booked there, his first of the season. I'm not getting as many yellow cards in the Dutch league as I normally do in the Premier League with this tactics. It does have quite a few players on get stuck in. So you are prone to getting the double yellow problem and lots of players getting sent off. But here's Ziyech, tips it through. Penaranda, I think he might have been offside. No, he was onside apparently. Probably should have done better there. But here's corner, Ziyech in, and Alvarez. So between Alvarez and Dias, they have 7 goals already this season, more than Tadic up front. The corners here just seem to be flying in time after time. Alvarez with a very good header. 3-0 against one of our closest competitors. I mean, there's not too many great players in this AZ team. I would say they've been doing extremely well start of the season. Coop Miners obviously is very good. They do also have Boadu, I think it is, who becomes a very good player in this game. Normally ends up at United in my experience. But here's the ball out to Svensson. Does play it in, and somehow Droif has managed to tip that in between two centre-backs and the keeper. That is really poor. With a 3-1 lead now going into the second half. Svensson played it in, and you could just see keeper out of position, pulled off his near post, and the two centre-backs didn't get the block in. It's really poor defending from the team. But 3-1, very good first half. If we can go out there, maybe bring on a few of the younger players to take up some of the minutes and rest the likes of potentially Van der Beek, Ziyech going into the match with Man City. Long throw, Penaranda to Ziyech, Tadic blocked, Neres to Van der Beek, Ziyech, somebody get a shot off? No, ball cleared away. And now Calvin Stengs, another wonder kid, comes onto the pitch, Fraser Alkmaar. They've got a few good players down here, a few former wonder kids as well. Ron Vlaar. Wow. Been a long time since I've seen Ron Vlaar. Ron Crete, as I think he used to be called when he was at Aston Villa. Now, I would like to give Pierre a little game. Maybe we'd take Diaz off. Who else would we maybe want to see on the pitch? Perhaps Taylor. Maybe if we look at who we can bring off of Van der Beek. Let's bring Gravenberch on. Let Van der Beek and Diaz just have a 20-minute rest, looking ahead to that Man City game. I'm really interested to see how we stack up against Man City. If we only lose by 1 goal, I think that shows that we've got capacity, with a little bit of development of the younger players, a bit of more tactical familiarity to really get victories against the big teams. But if we're smashed, we know where to take our place. Now Pierre back to Ziyech, ball into Penaranda, and he does get a goal. I love it when loanees get goals. And Penaranda now has his second goal for Ajax. He could be one to sign permanently, because I think he's valued at about 11 million, which is quite a lot. I wouldn't want to pay that for him, but if I could get him for sort of 5 million, 7.5 million, I'd definitely consider it, because he's never going to be a starting player. But when you play with two strikers, having that sort of fourth or fifth striker who's happy to be on the books and happy to not be playing week in, week out, which Penaranda is, it does give you so many options of a decent cover as well. But that is a really good win to be AZ Alkmaar like that. Now Feyenoord, not played yet. They've got a game in hand. They can take the top. AZ Alkmaar now have 2 defeats this season. Heerenveen still unbeaten. Late equaliser there helping us out, meaning they drop a point further back. But we are currently top of the league as we head to this Man City game. I'm not expecting us to make many changes from that match going into the City match. But Feyenoord do get the win. Toonstra with the goal for them. That means they go back to the top of the table. But yeah, it's I think could potentially be a difficult season this if Feyenoord keep going on this big winning run. And it's a while before they get beaten. I mean, it's a little while until we play them. If we look at the schedule here, we're getting that nice, if we just hide that defeat, nice run of green. But yeah, we don't play Feyenoord until December. So if they can keep winning games up to that point, it's going to be really hard to pull them back. But we need to focus on Man City first. It's an interesting game. Man City, they're currently 3rd in the Premier League. So not at the top, they're not flying, but they are going to prove quite troublesome. I'm hoping Edouard's knee injury doesn't force me to leave him out of this game, because Penaranda is not the one I want leading the line against a team like Man City. 93%, I think that's okay. Are there any changes we want to make? Anybody coming back? I don't think so. Martinez not quite ready to come back. I think we're going to go with the same 11. I don't think there's anybody that needs to come out here. Maybe Ziyech, but at 89%, I'm going to leave him in there because we can just sub him early in the second half. And after that win, we're in pretty good shape. Starting to get some of those chemistry lines come up. But a very strong Man City team here. Aguero, Sterling, Silva, De Bruyne, Fernandinho, Mendy, Laporte, Stones, Cancelo. That is pretty, and Ederson in goal. Pretty much a full strength team. They've also got Arturo Vidal in the club. So they've got lots and lots of options. Let's just tell the team to pick up where we left off. You'll notice I've not made any tactical changes because they're a bigger team. That's not how I play. I like to go out and treat every team the same. Tadic down, Van de Beek gets another shot, and Donny van de Beek gives us the lead against Manchester City. He had 2 bites at the cherry, and there were 2 decent efforts as well. Again, so many goals created from these long throws. Tadic wins the header, Van de Beek on the volley, blocked by Laporte. But what an effort that is, and Van de Beek gives us a very early lead, and City could be spooked. They're coming back with a corner just a minute later, still in the first 5, and Fernandinho denied by Onana. It's then cleared out for another corner. De Bruyne will take it. Tadic further out, or Ruben Dias further out, wasn't sure who that was. Edouard on the run, probably going to get tackled in a minute, but he found Ziyech, and we are in good shape at the moment. We're still controlling possession. I'm sure Man City will take that before long, but it's come for Ruben Dias. Now Alvarez, only the 13th minute of the game. Onana dinked forward to Van de Beek, who switches it beautifully to Ziyech. What a little turn inside. He's released Edouard, who turns around the keeper and makes it 2-0 against Manchester City. Edouard with the goal. Doesn't always score in the big games, but he has this time. What a touch by Ziyech there to take Mendy out of the game. Laporte lost his man. Edouard around Ederson and then sliding into that gap between the keeper and the near post for a 2-0 lead against Man City. This would be an enormous victory if we got it. Ziyech with the free kick, and Ederson, I'm not sure he knew which side of the post that was going. He's tipped it round the outside. We get the corner. Ziyech into the middle. It's bouncing around in there before Mendy gets it away, but Van de Beek cleaning up. Still got possession. Whips it into Edouard, and that is very high over the roof of the net. But a 2-0 lead. They've only had 1 shot so far. I cannot believe how well this is going. I'm going to do the very dangerous thing of press praise, and fortunately a few players did react well to it. But we're not far off half time. We're controlling the game. I mean, City are always going to have the possession in a match like this, but 14 efforts, 7 on target. City are even being forced into making more fouls than we are, and we have a 2-0 lead at half time against Manchester City. I did not see this coming. It shows the potential strength of this team. In the last match I was saying I'd be happy, even just losing 1-0. We're very early in this series, very early in our time at Ajax. That would be a sign that we're able to compete with the big teams. But to be leading 2-0 and leading comfortably as well, we're not even being threatened at the moment. Now Ziyech can come off for Promise. We'll also take Daley Blind off. We don't have Tagliafico available, so be Dest moving to the left back position. I'd rather a fit player than one that's perfect for the role. Header on, Edouard beats the defender, still going, holds the ball up, tackle goes in, he's still got it, he finds Promes. What a finish from Quincy Promes. It's 3-0 against Manchester City. That is absolutely unbelievable. Edouard just took the defender out of the game, held it up, tackle goes in from Silva, could have been a penalty, tees it up for Promes, little roll forward, ball on top of the ball, foot on top of the ball, rolls it forward, and then just finds the straight line finish into that far post past Ederson. Nothing that this full strength Man City team can do at this stage. They are 3-0 down in Amsterdam. I can even bring on Penaranda. I was joking that I wouldn't want him leading the line against City in the Champions League, but there he is. They're throwing everything at us. They've had to take big players off the pitch, and they've got 5 minutes left to try and get something from this game. Here's Aguero, lots of space for him, but no support. He's forced wide. Zinchenko in, cleared away. Promes has it. He holds the play up, loses out to Aguero, who's tackling on the left wing, doing it himself, but that is a desperate effort. We are going to be 3 points clear in the Champions League group stage. What a win. Mazraoui with the late throw in. Penaranda off the crossbar. What a victory that is. What a way to announce ourselves as a club. Bayer Leverkusen have taken the lead against Galatasaray. Would have been nice for them to draw the game because it just would have given us that 5-point lead for the qualification to the next stage. But at this level of performance, I'm really not worried about qualifying here. De Bruyne are away, full time. That is a full strength Man City team that have just been beaten. I can't believe that result. Absolutely sensational stuff. And another 2 million in the bank. I mean, that is just unbelievable. They want us to reach the first knockout round, which I'm sure we'll do after these first 2 wins. But if we could win the group as well, that would be absolutely unbelievable. What a position to be in at this stage. That defeat to Utrecht is a little bit annoying. But if we look ahead now, we do have a run of games where I'm not really going to need to show you. I mean, Spakenburg, currently down, semi-professional team. Not sure what league they're in. DTD. Really not sure what league that is. But we don't need to worry about that Dutch Cup first round. Vitesse, Fortuna Sittard, Bayer Leverkusen. That'll be a big game, but I don't think it's worth an episode for itself. FC20, Steve McLaren's former club. Spakenburg, Emmen, and then Bayer Leverkusen away as well. I think that we could actually run all the way through to this 3-game doubleheader, and that would end the Champions League group as well. So I might play quite a few games offline now. We'll have a big catch-up, and then probably a big episode if we do, all of these games, and then the 3. Or we could do all these games and then maybe Galatasaray and Feyenoord. Break it up a little bit. No, let's just do a really long episode next time. That's what we're going for. Anyway, guys, thanks so much for watching. I hope you're enjoying this series so far. It's been an excellent run up to now. Just 2 defeats along the way. Make sure you subscribe to the channel down below if you aren't already. And until next time, see ya.